Hello, you're welcome to my tutorial. I'll be showing you how to make a simple flower design for your Zara cap. Just screenshot the materials needed so that you don't lose sight of it. Okay, so I'm going to be using my fabric. I'll take it because I want the flower to be a big size. I'll use that size of plate I just used, to cut out my circle, and then I'm going to cut 3 pieces of it, and then iron gum stay on it like I've already done. So I'm going to proceed now with trimming out the extras before I get to work. So you just fold this into half and then fold the half into another half. I don't know if you get that. Fold into half and then fold into another half. Then pick the tip where they both meet. Tie your thread, not the edge, and then just begin to go on to sew. Just go on to use running stitch to get some gathers like I'm doing. Get some gathers at the edge of the curve of the semicone that you have at the tip there. You just get some gathers using running stitch pattern. Just watch carefully, you'll be able to get what I'm doing. It's not a difficult one at all. So when you get to the edge of the end of this, you'll pick up another circle that you cut out, and then just continue from where you stopped. You're not tying it off. You just pick another pattern and then repeat the same thing that you have done at the tip of this other pattern. Where you folded into two again, you just gather it again. You just do some extra gathers, gather it like I am doing till you get to the edge, and then you do the same thing for the third one. Now if you are doing maybe a complete petal, you're supposed to have like about 6 flowers, but I don't want this to be. I'm just doing only 3 flowers because of the design I want to have for the Zara cap. This particular design is a flower design, right? You can use it for your brooch, you can use it for lapel pins, you can use it for hair clips, but for a complete circle, you actually have to have like 6 petals, right? To get that perfect rose design that you want, you have like 6 patterns, and then you just when you're done going around where you started from, you come back there and tie. I'll show that in a different video, but let's just proceed for this one. Alright, so I'll pick up the third one and then repeat the same thing that I've been doing using the running stitch. I'm going to go ahead and just repeat it there, and then tie off what I have gathered. I'll ensure that it's tight enough, and then I'll just tie it off. I'm done tying, and then I'm going to tie my thread again, so that I can hold it closely. I want it to stand firm. I want it to be a little bit knitted together. So I'm just going to tie my thread again, and then go ahead and hold the sides together more closely, right? Before we only pick the edge, but I'm going to pick 2 sides and just tie again. Do the same thing for the other side. Just neatly tie and hold it together again and tie, right? See what I'm doing? Just put your thread somewhere away from the edge where you did before, so I can tie the two petals together. This makes it to be a little bit more firm, and then it's not dancing and flapping when you keep them down. So when that is done, you just proceed to the next part. The next part is the second flower design. I want to show the second flower design that I'll be using to cover the tip of our petals that we have. I'm going to show you the different flower design. It's also a simple one that you can use to cover that. Okay, so I'm going to continue with attaching this to the Zara cap. I'm going to be using this one thread. The reason why I'm not using candle wax gum or hook gum is because I don't trust that it's going to hold. It might fall off, so I prefer to use needle to tack that in. So just go ahead and attach your thread to your Zara cap. There's no pattern for this actually. The only thing I'm going to point out is while you are sewing, ensure you try to avoid the part that have the elastic, so I don't hold it down and then stop it from expanding. You added when you're doing your Zara cap, you have this elastic at the edge. that helps it to expand, that helps it to fit into your head or any other hair. Or imagine you're carrying braids or something and then you need to not be too tight on you. The elastic helps you to helps the Zara cap to expand. So just when you're sewing, try to ensure that you don't hold the elastic down. You don't sew on it, or sew it, tack it down with the flour, so it doesn't. When you do that, it won't allow the elastic to expand. So while you're sewing, just try to avoid it. I don't know if you get. Okay, so this is the other rows that I said I'm going to be adding. Now let's get to doing it. This other flour I'm going to be using for that place. You get a long strip of fabric, less like 36 inches. Right, so you always remember to knot the edge of your thread before you start. Now, like you did before, you just do a running stitch to gather this. Okay, I folded the beginning part. I folded it down, so I have a neat edge, and then you just begin to gather it using your running stitch. Just gather it together, till you get to the end of the fabric. Like I said, the length should be about maybe 36 or 30, depending on how sizable you want it to be. Then for the width you can do 2 inches. This one I'm using 2 inches for this one. You can do 2 inches or 3. The bigger the width. If you do 3 or 4, that means your rows is going to be looking big. I don't know if you get that point. So I'm using 2 because I don't want it to be so large, but I actually want it to be large too, so it can still cover that spot that I want to cover. When you get to the edge, you just secure it firmly. You have something like this. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do, you're just going to use your glue gum to get the rows that you want. So beginning with where you started sewing, that place where you folded down, so I can have a neat edge, you're just going to apply some glue gum there, and then begin to fold it in, like begin to roll it in, rather. Let me use the word roll. Apply some glue gum at that beginning there, and then begin to roll it in the way I'm doing. Okay, so you just continue rolling it in like I'm doing. Apply some extra glue gum. Ensure that when you apply and then you roll in, you just hold it down for a while so that it stays right. It doesn't go off. You see that it's not staying. Apply some extra glue gum and just still hold it down there. Now you apply some glue gum again and then roll it in. You continue to do this till you get to the end of your to get to the end of where you sewed, right? And when you get there, I just apply some extra glue gum and then still hold it down, hold it firmly so that it's stays. Try to cover where you ended it so that it's not looking rough. Try to neatly cover that part where you ended it, and then you have something like this. Use your hand to arrange the ruffles so that it shows and it comes out well. If it's not holding, like I said, just apply your gum. It's the whole gum that will determine the shape that this is going to take. That is done. I'm just going to go ahead to use my needle to attach this to the Zara cap. I don't want the edge of that other one I sewed to be showing, so I'm just going to neatly attach this one now to it. And like I said, while sewing, try to still avoid holding down the elastic. You don't want to have a thread whereby you finish sewing and then you cannot wear the cap because the elastic is now stagnant. It can't expand. Your head is now I don't know how best to explain. I know you understand anyways. Just try to avoid the elastic so that you don't have any work hazard or cap hazard rather. Okay, so this is basically it. This is all you need for the tutorial. There's nothing more to it. You're done. You have your cap, you have it in place, and you're good to go. This is the end result. Thanks for watching.